Hello friends, this is Rishi Gupta and today we are here to compare two of the most iconic characters on TV and find out which is a better one. So the characters that we are going to be comparing today are Joey Tribbiani from Friends and Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. So guys, we'll be comparing these characters on 5 important parameters and we'll find out on each parameter who comes out on top. And ultimately, the person with the most points out of these 5 points definitely takes the crown and is the winner, and in my eyes is the better character. So guys, let's get started. So guys, the first parameter on which we'll compare these two characters is who is the better friend. I mean, this is the most basic characteristic that you would expect out of a character in a show that primarily has a base on a group of friends having fun and doing fun stuff and interacting with one another. So guys, first of all, let's talk about Joey Tribbiani. So guys, Joey probably is the most loyal friend in the show. He has always had his friends back. Joey and Chandler's friendship is legendary. I mean, I don't think there is a pair whose friendship is better known in the pop culture universe than Joey and Chandler. And not just that, Joey is one person who has almost never betrayed his friends. Even if you look at the relationship between Joey and Chandler, you can say that Chandler kind of betrayed Joey a couple of times. When he kissed Kathy without consulting or telling about his feelings for Kathy directly to Joey, he definitely betrayed Joey. Even Chandler made out with Joey's sister. So Chandler has kind of been a bad friend sometimes, but Joey, I think, has never had any of these betrayal, has never done any of these betrayals to any of his friends. He is always there for them and he actually wears his heart on his sleeve. He will do anything for his friends. So that makes Joey a great friend to have. I mean, if you are getting into trouble, you would want Joey in your corner and he will do anything to protect you and he will do anything to have your back. So that's why I think Joey is a great friend. Now coming to Barney Stinson. So guys, Barney is a lot of things and he's a good friend as well, but again, so Barney has done some crazy things for his friends. He again has spent thousands of dollars on his friends to do whatever he can to make them happy. He has fought to keep Marshall and Lily together. The time Marshall and Lily broke up and Lily went to Philadelphia or something, I think, and Barney desperately tried to keep women away from Marshall so that he does not go another way, and ultimately Marshall and Lily come together. He even goes to Lily, gives her plane tickets and asks her to come back so that Marshall can be together. And not to mention, Barney is absolutely dedicated to making Ted live his life large, and he has done so many things for Ted, he has done so many things for Robin, he has done so many things for everyone. So Barney again is a great friend. So but now we are comparing these two characters. I think if you were to choose a friend, I think Joey is the kind of guy you would want in your corner, and Joey is the kind of guy you would want to have this everlasting friendship with, because say what you may, Barney has broken the bro code quite a few times, and he does focus on getting women a lot and probably focusing on his own needs sometimes, and overlooking what his friends actually need. But again, Barney is a great friend, please don't get me wrong, but this round at this point goes to Joey Tribbiani. So that's Joey Tribbiani 1 and Barney 0. So let's move on to the next point. So guys, the second parameter on which we are going to be comparing these characters is who is the better womanizer. So the reason I have picked this parameter or this characteristic is that the primary attribute of both of these characters in their respective shows is that they are really good with women, and they are serial womanizers, and they can have any girl they want. So who is better at that? So let's start with Joey Tribbiani from Friends. So Joey is a natural. He is, again, it's been evidently made clear in the show that he is a bit slow and he's definitely a bit dumb. So he does not have plot schemes to get together with women. He has his natural charm. He is handsome, he's charming, he's innocent, and his kind of dumbness comes across as endearing innocence rather than him being portrayed as dumb. So women fall for him all the time, and obviously he's good looking, he has a good physique, and all of that characters he has going for him. And he has his iconic catchphrase, which is "How you doing?" And again, he also has his tricks that he uses to bed women. One of those is definitely he being Ken Adams and using the story of the time he was backpacking through Western Europe. So it's not that Joey is totally innocent. He is also notorious for getting together with women for one night stands and not calling them again. So he has a lot of game when it comes to women. So he is definitely a good womanizer. But let's talk about Barney Stinson. So guys, Barney Stinson is a sociopath, or as he himself might call it, a high functioning sociopath. His life is focused on one thing only: sleeping with as many women as possible. And he does so many things to make that possible. He has a playbook wherein all the elaborate plays which he uses to con and get together with women have been mentioned, and he has meticulously worked on them. So he has his playbook, and again, it's not that he's not naturally charming. If Barney Stinson, in all of his glory, wearing his probably $1,000, $5,000 suit, walks up to a woman and starts talking to a girl, he definitely has a great chance, because he has a great personality. He's charming, he has a way with words, and he definitely has a good persona. So he has his natural charm, but that's not enough for him. He wants to be creative. He wants to do anything possible and everything possible to make this happen. So he has his playbook. He has his he also has BDSs, bimbo delivery systems, wherein he has elaborate plans and setups that keep on delivering women to him. So Joey is a womanizer. Barney is a womanizer and then some more. Barney is absolutely crazy. And that's why I think Barney edges out Joey here. Even though Joey has his innocent charm, but Barney takes it to a whole other level. And I think definitely he has slept with hundreds of women, and I think he takes the point. So now we have Joey at 1 point and Barney at 1. So let's move on to the next point. So the third parameter on which we are going to be comparing these characters is who is funnier. So guys, again, both are sitcoms, they are situational comedies, they are supposed to be funny. That's why I think it's an important part for a character to be funny. So this is an extremely tough one. So let's talk about Joey first of all. So Joey is again, he has been shown to be dumb. He is innocent, and at his expense, everyone is making jokes as well. Especially Chandler. He keeps on, hammering jokes on the way Joey is slow and he does not understand things. But Joey, in himself, is definitely a great funny character. His lines are iconic. His "how you doing," his moo point, his Joey's apple, and so many instances of him being absolutely hilarious. So he does a great job in being funny, and he's unintentionally funny. He's not sarcastic, he's not witty, but he is unintentionally funny. His dumbness has been used to great effect by the writers, and again, his womanizing ways, his loyalty to his friends, all of these have been used effectively to create comedy around his character. So that's why I feel that Joey is definitely a great comedic character, and he really adds a lot of flavor to the show. On the other hand, when we go talk about Barney, again, it's extremely funny. There is absolutely no two ways about it. But his character falls more in the domain of being wickedly intelligent, witty, smart, and all of that. And all of these things are extremely amusing. Obviously, they are funny because they have really funny consequences. All of the actions of Barney Stinson and How I Met Your Mother have hilarious consequences. But the character itself is funny, definitely, but not probably as funny as Joey. Joey adds a lot of comedic quotient to the show, and Barney adds a lot. I just cannot express how much he adds, but probably in terms of comedy, Joey does a teeny tiny better job in Friends than Barney does in How I Met Your Mother. So this point I think definitely goes to Joey. So now we have Joey at 2 points and Barney at 1. So let's talk about the next point. So guys, the fourth parameter on which we are going to be comparing these two characters is who has the better personality, who has the better persona of these two characters. So guys, let's again start with Joey from Friends. So guys, Joey has a good personality. He as a character is definitely interesting. He is funny. He has his love for food. He has his love for women. He is an extremely loyal friend, and he's a bit slow and he's a bit dumb, and that makes for a lot of comedy. But there's one thing that I think Joey's character has lacked. It's layers. Again, so he is a simplistic character, and often I believe that, again, so that might not always be the case, but the more layers a character has, the better character arc a character has, the more you like that character. So when I'm talking about layers, so again, Joey can be described in 3 or 4 words. He is, he is dumb, he is funny, he is loyal, he loves food, and all of that. So that is all that is to this character. The character arc of Joey does not grow a lot. Pretty much the Joey of season 1 and the Joey of the final season are pretty much the same. I'm not saying he does not go through stages, but it's pretty much the same. Obviously, he falls in love with Rachel, and all of those things happen. But again, I would say Joey is a relatively simplistic character. There are not many layers to it. If you were to ask whether is he an interesting character, would you like to spend an evening with Joey Tribbiani? Maybe, probably. Again, I'm not saying just because he's the Joey Tribbiani you want to spend an evening with him, but imagine you are in Friends and you spend an evening with Joey. It would be a pleasant time, but again, it would probably be a simple time. So when we talk about Barney Stinson, he is one of the most layered characters on How I Met Your Mother. He begins as a womanizer, as a funny guy, as a person who is full of himself, as a person who has a lot of money, as a person who wears great suits and all of that, who's a good friend, who's trying to teach people to live, who wants each of his days to be legendary and all of those stuff. So Barney starts off this way, and then he has relationships, he matures, he falls in love with Quinn, he has a relationship with Robin, he becomes a better person, and all the time he maintains his smart, witty, and amazing persona, and he's chasing women, and he has plays, and he has so many things to offer. He has his entire backstory with his family, the way he reconnects with his dad, the way he has a brother and he's trying to he's always having fun with him. There is a lot more to Barney's character. You see layers of him that you just don't see in Joey. So that's why I believe that definitely Barney is a great character. There are layers to him. You would have a crazy time if you spend an evening with Barney Stinson. So he's an extremely interesting persona. That's why I think that this point has to go to Barney Stinson. So now we are at 2 points for Joey Tribbiani, 2 points for Barney Stinson, and now we'll talk about the final parameter on which we will compare these two. So the final parameter is, guys, the relative importance of every character with respect to their show. So again, what I believe is that a character does not exist in isolation in any show. A character becomes who the character is when we take the character in context of the story, in context of the other characters that are present in the show. So let's talk about the role of Joey in Friends. So guys, Friends is a great show wherein they have put in almost equal importance to all of the characters. Probably Ross and Rachel get slightly more importance, and Monica sometimes, and Chandler. So it's more or less evenly distributed. So almost all the characters are souls of the show. If I were to pick one character who's on whose shoulder this show rests more than it rests on the others, it would definitely be Chandler. And Joey is kind of there. He adds a lot of value to the show, but definitely he's not the mainstay of the show. Now imagine if Joey were not there in Friends. Would it be as funny? No. Would it be as interesting? No. But there might exist a show without Joey as well, because the other characters are as strong. So Joey, while adds a lot of value to the show, probably is not the heart and soul or the mainstay of the show. While on the other hand, when you talk about Barney Stinson, I cannot imagine How I Met Your Mother without Barney. He is the soul of the show. He's the heart of the show. He is the comedic mainstay. I'm not saying the character per se is funny, but all of the things that are derived from Barney are extremely funny. So relative to the show, I think Barney is an inseparable part of How I Met Your Mother. If there was no Barney, I don't think How I Met Your Mother could exist. He is the foundation of the show. He adds so much to the show that I just cannot put into words. So that's why I believe that Barney Stinson is probably more important to How I Met Your Mother than Joey is to Friends. So that's why I believe that I know you might disagree to this, but I definitely believe that Barney Stinson adds far more value to How I Met Your Mother than Joey does to Friends. So that's why I believe that this final point goes to Barney Stinson. So we have a final score of 3 for Barney Stinson and 2 for Joey, and that's why I would conclude that Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother is the better character than Joey from Friends. So guys, please don't hate me for this. I have tried to be as objective as possible, and again, I love Friends and I love How I Met Your Mother. So I am not against any show, but I do believe that Barney Stinson is definitely a better character, and is definitely an awesome character, with all of his catchphrases, suit up, and all of those things. Barney has so many things to offer. He has gags, he has jokes on Canada, he has playbook, he has one-liners, he has witty stories, he has weird history lessons, and so many things he has to offer on the show. So that's why I believe that Barney is awesome, as he might also say he is awesome and he knows it. So guys, that was my video. Please tell me your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. We'll be talking about a lot more in the future. Thank you so much.